What if I told you you're not lazy at all? Your brain is just trying to protect you. Think about it. Every time you try to start something important, you suddenly feel tired. You procrastinate. You scroll. You avoid it. And then you blame yourself. I'm just lazy. But what if that's not the truth? What if, in that exact moment, your brain is stepping in, not to stop you from succeeding, but to stop you from feeling something it believes you can't handle? Because your brain has one primary job. It's not to make you productive. It's not to help you achieve your dreams. It's to keep you safe. And safety, to your brain, doesn't mean growth. It doesn't mean success. It means familiarity, comfort, predictability. So the moment you try to step outside of that comfort zone, your brain reacts. You open your laptop to start working, and suddenly you feel exhausted. You pick up a book to study, and your mind starts wandering. You plan to take action, and out of nowhere, you feel the urge to check your phone. That's not random. That's your brain pulling you back into what feels safe. Because from your brain's perspective, starting something new is risky. Putting yourself out there is risky. Trying and failing is risky. Even succeeding can feel risky because it's unfamiliar. So instead of letting you walk into that uncertainty, your brain creates resistance. It slows you down, distracts you, makes everything else feel more appealing than the thing you're supposed to do. And the worst part? It feels like it's you. It feels like a personal flaw, like a lack of discipline, like something is wrong with you. But there isn't. You're not broken. You're responding exactly the way your brain was designed to respond. The real problem is, you've been calling it laziness instead of what it actually is. Protection. And once you understand that, everything begins to change. Because now, instead of fighting yourself, you start observing what's really happening beneath the surface. You begin to notice the pattern. Every time something matters, the resistance shows up, not before meaningless tasks, not before mindless scrolling, but right before something that could actually move your life forward. That's not coincidence. That's your brain identifying a potential emotional threat and doing everything it can to steer you away from it. So the next time you feel that resistance, don't immediately label yourself as lazy. Pause and ask yourself one simple question. What is my brain trying to protect me from? Because the answer to that question might be the key to everything. Once you start asking that question, something shifts. You begin to see that behind every moment of laziness, there's usually fear hiding underneath. Fear of failing, fear of being judged, fear of not being good enough. And sometimes it's even deeper than that. Maybe you've tried before and it didn't work out. Maybe you put in effort once and got embarrassed. Maybe you stepped out of your comfort zone and it backfired. Your brain remembers all of that. It stores those experiences like evidence. And the next time you try to take a similar risk, it steps in quickly, not to ruin your life, but to protect you from reliving that same pain. So it tells you, let's not do this today. It distracts you with easier things. It convinces you to delay. And in that moment, comfort wins over growth. You choose the familiar. You choose the safe option. And again, it feels like laziness. But look closer. If it was truly laziness, you wouldn't feel guilty afterward. You wouldn't sit there thinking about what you should have done. You wouldn't feel that quiet frustration building inside you. That guilt is proof. Proof that you actually care. Proof that there's something inside you that wants more. Lazy people don't overthink their inaction. They don't feel conflicted about it. But you do. Which means this isn't about laziness at all. It's about a battle happening inside your mind. One part of you wants to grow, to improve, to move forward. And another part of you just wants to keep you safe. And the safe part is loud. It speaks in excuses, in delays, in distractions. Just one more scroll. I'll start tomorrow. I'm too tired right now. But underneath those thoughts, there's always a reason. Something your brain is trying to avoid. And until you identify it, you'll keep repeating the same cycle. You'll keep starting and stopping, trying and avoiding, wanting more, but staying where you are. Not because you're lazy, but because you're unknowingly choosing safety over growth. And the truth is, your brain will always choose safety by default. So if you want to change your life, you have to become aware of that pattern. You have to catch it in the moment, right when the resistance shows up, right when the excuses start forming. Because that moment is where the real decision is made. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. The more important something is to you, the stronger that resistance becomes. Think about it. The tasks that truly matter, the ones that could actually change your life, those are the ones you avoid the most. Not because you don't care, but because you care too much, because the stakes feel higher. If it doesn't matter, there's nothing to lose. But when it does matter, there's a lot on the line. Your identity, your confidence, your self-worth. So your brain reacts even more aggressively. It creates stronger distractions, stronger doubts, stronger urges to quit before you even begin. And this is where most people get stuck. They interpret that intense resistance as a sign to stop, as proof that they're not ready or not capable. But it's actually the opposite. That resistance is a signal that you're stepping into something meaningful, something uncomfortable, something that has the potential to change you. And your brain doesn't like that. Because change, even positive change, feels uncertain, and uncertainty feels dangerous. So it tries to pull you back into routines you already know, back into habits that feel easy, back into a version of your life that feels predictable. But here's the truth most people never realize. If you always listen to that voice, you will always stay the same. You will stay in the same patterns, the same habits, the same limitations, not because you lack potential, but because you keep choosing comfort over growth. And the longer you do that, the stronger that habit becomes. It becomes automatic. You don't even question it anymore. You just assume, this is who I am. But it's not who you are. It's just a pattern your brain has learned. And patterns can be changed, but only if you're willing to feel uncomfortable. Only if you're willing to take action, even when your brain is telling you not to. Because growth doesn't feel safe. It never has, and it never will. Which means, waiting to feel ready is a trap. You don't wait for the fear to disappear. You move forward with it. You take action while your brain is still trying to protect you. And that's how you start breaking the cycle. At first, it won't feel natural. Your brain will resist. It will question you. It will try to pull you back into old habits. But every time you act despite that resistance, something powerful happens. You send a new signal to your brain. You show it that the thing it feared isn't actually dangerous. You prove that you can handle discomfort, that you can survive failure, that you can move forward even when things feel uncertain. And slowly, your brain begins to adapt. The fear doesn't disappear completely, but it loses its control over you. That task that once felt impossible starts to feel manageable. That resistance that once stopped you becomes easier to push through. Not because you became a different person, but because you stopped believing the lie that you were lazy. You started seeing what was really happening. And that awareness changes everything. Because now, when you feel that urge to avoid something, you don't immediately give in. You pause. You recognize it. And you ask yourself, is this laziness? Or is this fear? And in that moment, you take your power back. You stop being controlled by automatic reactions and start making intentional choices. That's where real discipline comes from. Not forcing yourself through pain, but understanding yourself well enough to move forward anyway. So the next time you feel stuck, remember this. You're not lazy. Your brain is just trying to protect you. But you don't need protection from growth. You don't need protection from trying. You don't need protection from becoming more. So don't let that fear disguise itself as comfort. Don't let it keep you in the same place. Because on the other side of that resistance is the life you've been trying to reach. If this made you see yourself differently, make sure you like the video, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Tell me, what do you think your brain has been protecting you from? Because once you face that, everything changes.